We got 7?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, one.
7:01, okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if we could remain standing and remember Mabel Galoo, a great teacher, great volunteer in the community. If we could remember those affected by the COVID-19, and as we always do, our men and women in the armed forces. Thank you. All right, first on the agenda is to approve minutes. The minutes were taken from our regular meeting that we had on November 2, 2020, and a special meeting on November the 7th, 2020. I have reviewed the minutes and find no changes to be made. Take the motion.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Livesey, is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Howard, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next on the agenda is the public hearing on local law amending Chapter 235, which is the water code. At the last meeting, we had a couple of residents come. They had very legitimate concerns, points to make. The attorney, our village attorney who's here tonight, took those. And I would ask the board that we continue to keep it open. I see us maybe coming back to on our table on the agenda, possibly at our next meeting, the first meeting in December. If during the next week, not 2 weeks, if you would take the next week, by this time next week, if you have anything that you would like to speak to the village attorney about pertaining to that local law that was introduced, please call her so that after a week from today, you can compare the local law, because then our meeting.
Okay.
I think that's fair for you and fair for us to respond to you the first week.
Yes.
Okay. Do I need a motion, Jan?
You would just need a motion to adjourn the public hearing to the next meeting.
Adjourn it or keep it open?
Well, it's an adjournment, but keeping it open.
Okay,
So
so a
you're
motion
just-
to adjourn
Yeah, to the next.
and keeping it open to the next meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn it and keep a
Keep it
motion
open.
to adjourn to the next meeting.
Okay, perfect. Motion by trustee Livesey, is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Howard, all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, water update. So, the good news is that we have had some rain. While I don't like it so much when it rains, I want more. We need some more rainy days. But I will tell the public that as of this morning, we're at 47%. Now, that's going up. We were down as low as 37, 38%. Now we're up to 47. So it's on the rise. Again, these kinds of rains we've been having for 3 or 4 hours or longer are helping Bog Meadow fill. Bog Meadow is turned, the valve is off. We're not drinking any water out of Bog Meadow. Where we are drinking our water from is Glycerin Hollow. That's the water flow that comes down the mountain that you can see when you start up 9W. So that's running pretty good for now. And that's where our drinking water is coming from. When we get water from there, we shut back on all the other areas of water that we have and just feed off Glycerin Hollow. I will give the board a list of, and I'll go through it quickly, but not in this order. These are areas that the engineer and myself and Jack and and the board, you guys yourselves, need to look at. Even when this water gets back to the level that makes me comfortable, I want to come up with Plan A and Plan B in case it happens again, so we have something in place. I never want to go through this again. And so I'm going to read a list of areas that we're looking at, but not in this order. Some are before others. Obviously, the first one would be the West Point water line that runs through the golf course. That's still going on with discussions with West Point. A little disappointed in their responses, but it's still out there, it's still open. Build up Upper Bog near the spillway, 2 feet. If we increased it, put boards up 2 feet on the one side, we could probably capture 31 million gallons. The well in front of the cemetery off of 9W. We're doing some testing with that well. That well goes back many years ago when the town was looking to tap into it. It might produce 150,000 gallons a day. Remember, our feeding, to feed the public, Highland Falls and Fort Montgomery, approximately 500,000. 500,000 a day to 520. It could also, 490 to 520 is how much water we need every day. So that's a possibility. Looking into wells near the water plant itself. We have not done that. We're acquiring the county maps to see if there's any information on there. The village farm, which is up on the hill. Maybe some of you don't know where that is, but it's up on the hill there. Right now, the water comes down a good-sized brook, and it enters Highland Brook below our water tanks. So it all goes to the river. So we're not capturing any of that. So that's a possibility. Wilkins Pond. Now the overflow goes to Long Pond, which the government owns. I may ask West Point, if, when needed, if we could have the amount that Wilkins Pond puts into Long Pond. Again, only when it's needed. Jim's Pond, we now have a valve in Jim's Pond, which BlackRock owns, and they're allowing us the top 3 feet. It's not very deep, that's why it's called a pond, but I'm going to ask them if we could have a couple more feet, especially in the fall and winter. They use that pond, Jim's Pond, for firefighting if there's a fire. They want to use that water for that, and I understand that. Pump Lower Bog out to the stream. One that would probably be on the bottom of the list is pump water from the Hudson River. We might be able to capture more water if we dredge the 9W reservoir. And the last, and again, they're not in this order, it's just the way I thought of them, I put them down. To impound Glycerin Hollow. Again, Glycerin Hollow is the water we're drinking today, but we capture it by the overflow. We don't capture it up on top and impound it and let it out as we need it. So there's a possibility that maybe we could capture Glycerin Hollow. That's areas that we're looking at. I'll, of course, keep everyone apprised of where we are, and when there's meetings, if you can come to them, but everyone will know what's happening in this room and out in the public itself, all the residents. Again, we need to come up with a couple of plans here to get water before this happens again. That is the update on the water.
Mr. Mayor, also I was in contact with Jack, and I think one of the good things is right now we are maintaining at the normal level of usage in the village. So we're good.
We're hoping people are conserving.
Yes, so, you know, with the talk of leaks all over the place and everything else, we are at a normal usage right now. So there are none.
The 2 leaks that we know of are going to be fixed.
Right.
Probably next week with our guys. Okay, they'll be fixed. So that'll shut that leak off, 2 of them. That's, and is that what you're referring to?
Well, I'm referring to too, that, you know, again, there's been a lot of talk that there's leaks all over the place
No.
in the village.
Yeah,
The normal usage in the village of Powell Falls is maintaining at that same level.
which shows,
Yeah.
which
Right.
indicates no
Right.
serious, no
And-
leaks.
And
Yeah.
on this Saturday, I'll be with Jack up there at 6 o'clock in the morning if you want to come up with us. And he's going to show me some more things with the
Good.
numbers. and
Good.
everything,
Good, thank you.
so you're welcome.
Okay. All right, next on the agenda is to authorize the mayor. The next 2 things are good news stories for a change. I need authorization to sign a change order number 1 decreasing by the amount of $5,000 from the original contract price of $137,000 down to $132,000 from Black Electric, the electrical contractor for the belt press replacement project at the wastewater treatment plant.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by trustee Howard, is there a second? Second by trustee Ramus, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. As I said, the next one's a good news story too. Authorizing the mayor to sign a change order number 1, decreasing by $45,625, the original contract price of $719,000 down to $673,375 for Eventus Construction Company, the general contractor for the belt press replacement project, again at the wastewater treatment plant.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by trustee Ramus, seconded by trustee Howard. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And just so you know, Mr. Mayor, I was down there a few times, and actually this morning, they did a fantastic job in there. The machine looks great.
Good, very good. So that's $50,000 of savings. All right, the next is an item I had brought up, and just to close it out, the American Burrito wanted to use municipal lot number 2 across from Sacred Heart on December the 12th from 9 to 9, and that's December 12th is the Army-Navy, for an Army-Navy Spirit event. Because of the virus and talking to the county, the doctor, etc., this cannot be allowed. So, Gina, what do you want, a denial there?
Yeah, I would ask for you.
A motion to deny the request?
Mhm.
Okay, may I have a motion to deny the request for an Army-Navy Spirit event?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by trustee Livesey, seconded by trustee Howard, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Mr. Mayor, you
Yes.
could just put a clause in there because.
I think, so. Yeah, I was thinking that, you're right.
Yeah.
So if we could amend the motion to include, because of that pandemic?
Mhm.
Okay, you're right,
Yeah, consultation with public health officials. you
you're
know.
right, you're right. Thank you. Next is authorizing the mayor to sign a spay-neuter agreement with the Animal Rights Allegiance, Tara. We spoke about that. I wanted, from the last meeting, the attorney to review the paperwork from Tara. You have,
I did.
and you're okay with all of it. I think it's rather simple for a change.
Yeah.
And so tonight would be a night for us to approve this.
I approve the
Motion?
Yes.
Motion by Brian Howard that the mayor sign the spay-neuter agreement with Tara. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Livesey. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you so much. This is, it means a lot to it means a lot to me, but it means a lot to a lot of other people. Okay, I have a request for payback on vacation days. We have one from Anna Sierra. Should be approved. We've done this before for $3,715.20. And there's a second one, which we'll do individually, from Sergeant Jason Torpy, which totals $4,880.86. That's been calculated by the clerk's office and the payroll clerk, and it's accurate. So if anyone would like to make a motion to approve Anna Sierra's payback, $3,715.20 for vacation days, 15 vacation days, it would be appropriate.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Livesey,
Second.
seconded by trustee Ramus. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Next, we have the same motion for Sergeant Jason Torpey, the Hunt Falls Police Department. The calculation shows $4,880.86.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Ramus, is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Howard, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
We have talked to people about reminding people that they have to use their vacation there.
Yes,
We have talked to department.
yes.
Okay.
I have tonight, the bills were reviewed downstairs. All right, I'm gonna do this anyway. For fiscal year 2021 of $347,264.37.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Livesey, is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Howard. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Yeah, the other item is covering the meters for the month of December. So that would start on Tuesday, December 1, 2020, and they would remain covered until January the 4th, 2021. We're hoping that, as always in the past, that we support shoppers we support local shopping during the holiday season. If I could have a motion.
Absolutely.
Motion by trustee Livesey,
Second.
second by trustee Ramus. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, I have two things. We'll go around the room. Virus numbers. Orange County, total since it started, 14,871. 14,871. There's 32% ICU beds available. There's 80 folks in the hospital today with COVID. In the town of Highlands, we have 65 cases active today. We are the fourth highest. Before us is the city of Newburgh, the town of New Windsor, the town of Newburgh, then comes the town of Highlands, and then comes the town of Warwick. So what that's saying is we are the fifth, out of all the communities in Orange County, we're the fifth in hotspots. And that goes back to us canceling the Army and Navy tailgate party, and much disappointment from me and for others. I had to cancel the December 5th Christmas lighting ceremony.
Mr. Mayor, is that based on a percentage of population or just the raw number?
I believe it's the raw number.
Okay.
Okay, so continuing with the virus, we have, if I go back to March of this year and all the months since, we've done, as far as, when I say we have done well, what I mean in this particular area is the village employees. We never closed downstairs. There were times when they took turns. One day one would work, and the next day the other clerk would come in. We did that for a while, not for long though. And the same thing in the very beginning with all of our departments where it was water, sewer, or highway. We never did it for the police. They were fully manned as they always were, and that has stayed the same. But now the virus has hit our departments. So we have an active case at the wastewater treatment plant. Of course, that person is home and will stay home until they're better. The other department that has gotten hit is the highway department, with a couple of cases there. Now, today Regina Taylor and I spent time on the phone with New York Conference of Mayors. We spent time on the phone with the county doctor. She's so good. When I call, if I don't get her, she calls back. She's very good. And basically had the same information as far as time off, the 14 days, the quarantining, all of that is, we're following a proper protocol to the T. And we'll continue to do that. Some other folks that work around in these departments with those that have been tested positive also went for tests. We make sure they go. They've come back negative. That's the good news. So there'll be no missed beat at the water plant. There'll be nothing missed as far as everything that needs to be done at the wastewater treatment plant. We have great employees down there. Nothing, even with 1 or 2 out, will not change the operation. And we have everything covered. We had a department head meeting this morning. I almost have a department head meeting not every day, but it seems like every day. I can only tell you that we're on this. As far as the highway department, they're busy all the time. If it's not plowing snow, it's getting ready for spring. If it's not spring, it's summer. If it's not summer, it's fall. So right now it's fall. And everyone knows what comes with fall. Picking leaves up, getting salt spreaders ready on the trucks, getting plows ready on the trucks, making sure tires are properly inflated, if not replaced. All that stuff that we do this time of year is still being done. I had a meeting with the guys today, and they've stepped up. They had already stepped up. They didn't need me to ask them to step up, but I still did anyway. And as I say, they've stepped up. And if you have leaves in front of your house and they've been there for a few days, just try to hold on. We'll get them picked up. We will get them picked up. Just a little light with manpower, but nothing that will stop the operation. That's the most important part. Okay? So just hold on and everything's going to get done. I would like the board to think about increasing the salary of part-time dispatchers, which are not in a union. So we don't have to negotiate this with the union. We could do this all on our own. I'm asking that we go to $15 or something other than what it is now, because we can't get part-timers and we need part-time dispatchers. I have a dispatcher that makes $15.30, so they make the 15, but I have another one that makes $12.73. I have another one that makes $13.52. I have another one that makes $13.12. We have to understand that being a dispatcher for fire and for police and EMS is an extremely important job, extremely stressful job, it just involves emergencies where you have to be on your game. You can go to McDonald's and make more starting than 3 or 4 of our current dispatchers. So what I'm asking for is for a $15, for which was the hourly rate we gave the last dispatcher, who was recommended to us to work, and by the way, basically doesn't work. So much for that. That we raise these salaries. Maybe they'll work more. Although I just told you we had someone that you all hired, we hired, that doesn't work for 15. But they still need to have their salary raised. And I'm really bringing it up because of the board's decision not to hire a full-timer as of today. That can change tomorrow. But he has to advertise for part-timers, and it would be nice to put an hourly rate of at least $15 in there and not $13.12. It doesn't make any sense. So if you're not prepared tonight, please be prepared at the next meeting
Yeah, I think we need some discussion on it, Mr. Mayor, because the ones that are making less than the 15, we need to bring them up to speed.
Oh, I said that.
Oh, okay.
I'm willing to, I say that.
Did we choose a date?
We should bring them up to $15 and we should advertise for a couple of part-timers and see what we get for $15.
Did we
Well-
find that date yet with Ralph? I know you were.
Yeah,
Which one?
well, I didn't hear from the board, so I just made it myself.
I sent you one.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
We're gonna have it November the 28th, Saturday, November 28th.
okay, so maybe we.
I'm just gonna make meetings now because to email everyone doesn't.
Okay.
Jimmy?
I thought we had discussed this a little bit in the past, and I thought we even went for a higher number.
Oh, if you want, that's up to you.
And
I
there
don't
was a
remember
lot,
that.
there was a lot
It
of
could be.
reasons for that number to be higher. So I really think we need some more discussion on it.
When do you want to discuss it?
And just because the people that have been there, they started at this rate, and then you're just gonna bring them up to 15, and somebody who's coming in at 15, maybe we should look at, and see how they have progressed in the pay scale, and maybe that should be above the, whatever number we come up with.
Let's discuss it on November the 28th.
Sounds good. And then I believe we'll have a meeting with
Where's that meeting gonna be here?
Yes,
What's that, Saturday?
yes.
I don't think we're gonna make that one, okay.
Fine.
Okay,
No, what you were going to
so
say?
I was gonna say, do we have a meeting the following Monday?
We have a meeting, no, because no,
Okay.
we're off for 3 weeks. You're off for
We-
3 weeks. Okay?
Unless we set up something earlier, which,
Well, like I said, we'll talk about it
I'm
on
just
the
saying,
20th.
that would be an awful long time, and 3 weeks plus 2 weeks,
Yeah, because he wants to advertise.
yeah.
We need, listen, let me tell you all something. We need dispatchers. We need dispatchers. Right now, the police are at the desk and making a lot more than $15. And if you want him, as you said, you want him to hire part-timers, he needs to put an ad and he needs to put the rate in there. So,
Is it possible to meet this Saturday,
well, we are meeting this Saturday down at the ALO property.
before?
If the board wants to. Some of them didn't respond back to the ALO thing, so I don't know what's going on. Are you available Saturday? This Saturday?
I thought that was for the committee.
Are you?
Yeah, I thought it was for the.
I thought that was for
No, I put
the,
the whole village board on it, that's why I think
yeah,
you
but I
got
thought it was for the committee, it said committee.
Yeah.
That's why,
it. You're part of the committee, the village
Oh,
board.
we all are?
The village board.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to meet
If we're
Saturday?
just gonna hire, why can't we just address it in two things? Just put out an ad to hire a new dispatcher at $15 an hour, and then we'll address the other people at the 28th meeting.
That's giving me what I think we should do.
Yep.
So we'll bring in new dispatchers, part-time dispatchers
How many
at
are we looking to
$15 an hour.
How many are we looking to hire? 2, 1?
If you say prayers, we might get 2. Other than that, we're not.
I was thinking the same thing.
I just, like, what shifts are needed, that's, I'm just
Well, they'll
trying to
figure that
say.
out when they hire them, but if you wanna put in an ad in the paper for 2 new dispatchers at a rate of pay of $15, and then we'll address the ones that we have currently on the 28th.
And they can start the interviews.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
If you need that in a motion, I'll make it in a motion.
He could begin the interviews,
We have to put an ad in,
yeah,
and then he can do what he,
once it goes.
okay.
He's gonna make a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. My last thing is, this is our last meeting before Thanksgiving, and so to the public, who's ever watching, I know that 2020 has been a rough year, to say the least. And I know a lot has happened, sickness, deaths. People lost their jobs in this community. Business is down. It was closed for a long time. Now that it's opened only part-time. Schools, one day I'm going to school, the next day I'm at the kitchen table on my computer. I never know where I'm gonna be. Celebrations, holidays, all canceled. 4th of July canceled. Other events canceled. We canceled 2 tonight. Christmas lighting ceremony and the Army and Navy barbecue. Just tonight, 2. So I know. In my own family is COVID-19. So I know. But, there's always the but. But I need to also look at it this way. As that is the truth, what I just said. All those things have happened to us. So is this the truth? That I'm thankful for the doctors. I'm thankful for nurses who, if you don't get a tear in your eye when you watch the news, there's something wrong with you. They're not working 1 shift, they're working 2 and 3 shifts. There's some place out west that the nurses were told that were home with COVID to come to work. Yee. Healthcare workers, folks who give food. The food in this community is so needed. The lady pulled up in front of Village Hall this morning, 7:30 this morning. I hear the door open. I'm thinking, who's coming in at 7:30 in the morning? And it was a lady with 2 bags of food. I've always said, and you all know it, that this community cares for one another. We really do. Now we hear that there's a good chance there'll be a vaccine. I tell you this, business will return to normal. Schools will return to normal. Celebrations will return. I will tell you, in January I will hold my first 4th of July meeting. Let's see what happens. But if it goes on, we'll have a celebration like never seen before. So we have a lot to also be thankful. And I'm sure that when folks sit around their table on Thanksgiving, they're going to say their prayer, and they're going to say, yes, it was a tough year, and all this stuff happened, and all these folks died, and all these folks are sick, and all these jobs are lost, and all these businesses are closed. But they're also, I'm telling you, they are also going to remember the good about us. So I choose to remember the good, even though I know the bad, the negative, the bad. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Mr. Howard.
I'm just, I need to ask the board's permission to bring up another topic. The center is planning on December 5th to have vendors in the American Legion, maybe 4 or 5. And with what's going on, I want to make sure that we talk about that, because isn't it, the numbers have changed now about how many people you can have in there?
I believe so. I think your best thing would be is to call Orange County.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking about that. I just wanted to bring that up because, you know, someone will say, well, you're on the board, so you should have brought it up. So I brought it up there. I echo the mayor's sentiments about people in this community. When we were delivering food last week, it was unbelievable. People working in the churches, people dropping off food, making sure that people had food, and having an EMT in the family who's working over in Cambridge ER. Thank you very much for all the nurses and the EMTs do. That's it.
Did you see your banner?
Yep.
Jim?
Couple of things. like to give a report on the wastewater treatment plant. So, in the month of August, they were doing approximately 650,000 gallons a day. We had 6 inches of precipitation throughout that month. The facility met all of the DEC speedy permit limitations. They have been working on the Pellwood and the Webb Lane pump station. They check them regularly and clean them out. They're all working and operating in excellent condition. Like I said before about the belt press, I was down there, it looks fantastic. They had that in operation for 10 days. That's all they needed. They installed a new main drive chain in the secondary clarifier. That was out of service for only 1 day. And they continue their maintenance and lubrication. One of the other things that I noticed when I was down at the plant that we're going to need to have to discuss during the budget process, because I have been up at the water plant also, is some repairs to the masonry portions of those buildings. We need to address it now before it turns into a bigger problem later. I can bring you guys some pictures of some of the things, and if we nip it in the bud, it'll save us a lot of money in the future. So it's a couple of things that we really need to look at both of those buildings. And I know we always discuss how we can work on Village Hall as well. As far as the building department, Phil's doing a great job down there. Busy guy. He's got a great secretary, so she sent me this report for the month. Last month of October, they only did 3 permit applications. They issued 5 permits though, from some of the ones that were previously submitted. They did 4 operating permits, 4 COs, 13 inspections. They only did 1 advisory notification violation, and that's because wintertime, grass isn't growing. That people are home, they're really taking care of their houses. I see a lot of work getting done on some of the properties around here. People are starting to take an extra amount of pride. Not that they didn't before, but there's an extra amount of pride I see out there in the village. So kudos to the residents. And they did 4 FOIL requests. Going back to the water, Mr. Mayor, you had a lot of great concepts on how we can address that water condition in the future. I would just caution that there's 2 things that we need to look at, and I know we discussed it at the Saturday meeting about testing just 2 of those locations where some of the potential water could come from. I just want to make sure we did the test before we dive into any large expense. Also, I'm going to be attending a decommissioning forum for Indian Point. That's going to be on the 20th. There is a draft agenda. It's a virtual meeting, and I'll give everybody an update on that. I know it's an important thing that's happening right across the river from us. There's a lot going on over there, so I'll have that at the next meeting. Miss Anderson asked me to briefly let everybody know that she is spearheading the community choice aggregation. It's a NYSERDA project, and if you want to hear more about it, she's going to give a presentation at the town board meeting next Monday night. And she wants to come here, but if you want to get a little bit of homework done on it or some information from her, see that meeting, and then she's going to come give us additional information. I have a few concerns about it because it's an opt-out program instead of an opt-in. So, but that's one thing. I'm just one person. I think we need to hear a little more about it, and she has a lot of information on it. And one last thing. It's the 50th anniversary of the Hudson River Maritime Museum. That's up in Kingston. I know it's getting colder. A lot of people have been hiking. So this is an indoor activity. Everything's COVID-19 up there. And it's a great place to visit on the weekend. And to bring the kids up there, it's fantastic. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's open from 12 to 5. That's all I got for today, Mr. Mayor. Thanks.
Nothing tonight.
Murph.
I just want to bring this over so everybody hears me. Make sure everybody hears what I got to say.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
So, I'm gonna start back 6 years ago. 6 years ago, and I'm speaking as a resident right now, I had a gas problem in front of my house. I smoked gas, and actually the fire department came up on that day. They came up to try to investigate where the fumes were coming from. After that, Central Hudson came in and they spotted and detected that, hey, listen, there's some kind of fumes coming out of Mountain Avenue somewhere. Throughout that year, not only in my area was there gas fumes coming out, there was gas fumes coming out in different areas. And this continued on with Central Hudson coming around and all of that. 4 years ago, it became more of a concern because on my road and other roads that are in the village of Howland Falls, they started doing a lot of digging, they started doing a lot of tests, rotting for the fumes and everything, and it became more on the roads where the roads were getting to a condition of ruts in the road and holes and potholes and all of that. Mr. Mayor here brought up to the people that these roads will be taken care of. And he promised that the roads will be taken care of. And as the years were going on, to 3 years ago, driving on some of these roads, they were horrible. Not just my road, I'm not talking about just Mountain Avenue, I'm talking, if you know the village of Howland Falls, you know there was a lot of roads that were going to get maintained and everything else. And as of last year, I have to be probably one to say this road's never going to get taken care of. And I'll really say that. It was very discouraging to live in an area where you hear every single vehicle going by. It's just like, what am I doing living here? It became that bad. Mayor D'Onofrio said he's going to have that road taken care of and the other roads, in which he did. Main Street down here in Howland Falls. There's other roads. I know the board supported this, but I have to say that I give a lot of credit to you, Joe. You pushed this. This was a priority. You pushed it. And I have to tell you, again, with Mountain Avenue, it was at the point where I was saying to myself, I think Joe might get this where they're going to pave this road and not just put this coal patch out there. And I want to thank you, Mayor Joe.
There's a lot of
I
meetings.
want to
It's
thank
okay.
you, and not just my residents, the residents that are in that area of that road. I know you pushed them. I know if they could have just done some patches up there, that would have been it, and that would have been over with. And I know you pushed them to have that road smooth. I know Mearns and Eagle Valley, you're going to push on that. And I really appreciate that. Going down to Barry, there's all kinds of roads that are in the village, Row. I've heard from the construction guys of how you are down there. I heard stories that this guy keeps coming outside the village hall and we don't know who he is. Well, I know who he is. It was the mayor. That's who it was. And they said he wouldn't take his eyes off of the crew out there. And I really, really appreciate that. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
The other thing
It's what I like to do, believe it or not. Isn't that odd?
It was excellent. The other thing I want to say is, I got word of something, and I know we have this COVID going around, but I do have word, and I know there's been cancellations. And I got a pretty hot tip the other day. Santa Claus, he's going to be around.
He's coming.
He's going to be around. Santa's going to come around this year, no
Yeah.
matter what, so the parents at home can tell the kids, in
Yeah.
case they're curious, Santa's definitely coming this year.
I'm really glad that you brought that up, because I couldn't have said it, I won't say it any different. We're telling the public, Santa is coming. He told us, actually.
He's definitely coming.
Virus or no virus, if there's a virus, which there probably will be, everybody will do it the proper way.
Yeah.
But Santa's coming.
Santa's coming.
Okay.
Santa's coming.
Thank you.
That's my report.
Thank you. Nothing else, no executive session tonight? I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you so much.